Sarah.
Before I get started on my whole portfolio spiel, I'd like to cite my readings. And they are The Art of Changing the Brain by Dr. Zoll. It's actually a really good book if you're a student, or can I ask for more time?
Sure.
I don't know if we'll need it, but this is actually a really good book if you're a student or a teacher, because it's all about the way we learn cognitively and emotionally and the different ways you can better the way that you learn and teaching styles. You can pass it around if you'd like. My second reading was Fighting the Center Within by Dr. Thomas and Beverly Bean, and I'll talk more about this in my speech. You can pass that around if you'd like. And then, of course, Building Business Success by yours truly, Dr. Phil. You can pass this around if you like, but I think you guys all have one. And my PowerPoint is my attempt at being funny, because like Marie, I'm not very good at that. So. Well, never mind. Like she said. As many of you have stated in your portfolio presentations, Public Speaking 220 was not an easy class. In fact, I had many difficulties, including Dr. Phil's challenging criteria, overcoming fears, and having a willingness to listen to one another without judgments. During the speech, I'm going to relay 3 things. What I've learned from taking this class, my one-page reaction to my video recordings, and a few of my journal entries that I found to be useful and pertinent to this course. What I've learned from taking this class. Prior to taking this class, I suffered from what I like to call anxiety amnesia, and Amy's my witness to that. Before I'd go up and give a speech, I would just rattle off all the information and just go blank and stand there like, okay, I'm done. It was pretty horrible. But now, frankly, I feel that I've learned how to give solid, informative public speeches. First, I learned the acronym TEW, GTE, TE, TEWYTE, which means tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them. It sounds silly, I know, but it was an extremely helpful tool when preparing and giving a speech. Also, I learned that the more familiar you are with the subject, the better your speech probably will be. Therefore, if you're unfamiliar with the material, you should probably not procrastinate and just dive in and get really familiar with it. It also seemed that confidence was a major key player into giving a great speech. I'm still working on that. And here are a few great tips that Dr. Phil gave me. 1, eat a banana 20 minutes prior to giving your speech. I forgot to do that today. 2, when you lose your train of thought, take a deep breath to give yourself a moment and regather your thoughts rather than saying or If you have a tendency to shake, now I don't use note cards because you can really see how nervous you are when you're standing up there like, and then you can't even read what you wrote. Second was my video, or one-page reaction to my video recordings. Honestly, I didn't have much luck regarding my video flash drive. First, it went missing on the day of my first speech. Then after giving my fourth speech, my second flash drive caught a virus. Therefore, I'd only been able to watch 2 of my speeches and one of my impromptu speeches off of YouTube. When I first saw my speeches, I couldn't help but laugh and feel embarrassed. Though I was very surprised at how calm I looked, considering I felt like my stomach was exploding and my body was having panic attacks. It was pretty odd. Also, I noticed how silly I sounded whenever I said or My least favorite video to watch was the impromptu speech, thanks Dr. Phil, because I was completely unprepared for it, thus like totally ignorant on the subject. Mind you, the subject was blue whales. It sounds pretty easy, I know, but when you're about to go up in front of a group of people and in front of a video camera and somebody just hands you a subject and you're completely unprepared for it, it's the task seems impossible and you just feel like you're not going to complete it. And I look completely ridiculous trying to do so, as you all can see on YouTube now. Finally, I wanted to talk to you guys all about a little bit about the book I read, which was Finding the Center Within, and read from you some of my journal entries, which has hopefully made me a better person, but I suppose time will tell. For the past 10 weeks, I read the book called Finding the Center Within by Thomas and Beverly Bean. This book focused on self-help and spirituality by combining practices from both Buddhist spiritualists and Western psychology. On my first entry, I wrote, "This first chapter taught me how to acknowledge where I am at in this world and what roles I play. For example, I'm a sister, I'm a partner, I'm a college student, I'm a nanny, I'm a pet owner, etc. It showed me different ways of being mindful and its meaning. Thus, I'm better acquainted with the idea of living in the moment, instead of constantly thinking about the future and obsessing about what I'm going to do tomorrow. This is it. This is my life." Also, the book challenged me to be aware of self-punishing thoughts, Gabe, and to replace them with encouragement. Gabe.
Gabe.
On week 3, I read chapter 3, which introduced the concept of meditation and its close relation to psychology. Here was one of my favorite quotes from that chapter, and I believe best summed it up. "We already are what we want to become. We don't have to become someone else. All we have to do is be ourselves, fully and authentically. We don't have to run after anything. We already contain the whole cosmos. We simply return to ourselves through mindfulness and touch the peace and joy that we already present within ourselves and all around us. I have arrived. I am home. There's nothing else to do." That was by Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Buddhist priest. And then finally, week 5. This is my last reading I'll read to you guys. Well, the last journal entry I'll give to you guys. "The simple but nonetheless profound truth is that we're all seeking happiness. The Dalai Lama once said, 'I believe the very purpose of our life is to seek happiness, whether we believe in religion or not. We are all seeking something better in life. So I think the very motion of our life is towards happiness.' Along with this profound truth, I learned about the Chinese Zen practice of the art of Wu Wei. Although the word Wu Wei translates as not doing, that's not exactly what it means. What it does mean is, while you're engaged in simple tasks such as brushing your teeth, instead of letting your mind wander off in time, come back and be in the present." I found this book to be especially helpful while taking this class because it taught me methods of relaxation, encouraging self-talk, Gabe, and mindfulness, which I have found mindfulness to be an important tool when bettering you at any task. For my conclusion, instead of leaving you guys with an inspiring quote like I normally do, I wanted to leave you guys with a joke and the college student's prayer before finals. These ones are for your dry joke cachet, Dr. Phil. My first is my joke. Where does the general keep his armies? In his sleeveys.
Oh.
I thought of you when I heard that. Okay, and here's the college student's prayer before finals. "Now I lay me down to steady. I pray the Lord I won't go nutty. If I should fail to learn this junk, I pray the Lord I will not flunk. But if I do, don't pity me at all. Just lay my bones in the study hall. Tell my professor I did my best, then pile my books upon my chest. Now I lay me down to rest. I pray I'll pass tomorrow's test. If I should die before I wake, that's one less test I'll have to take."